welcome to Labour Lens. I am Sharon Ijason. On this week edition of the program, we'll continue our conversation as regards issues that surround the workers in the maritime sector. We also have new stories for you. We will be right back. It's a gathering of workers in the maritime sector. They are concerned about the Port and Harbour Bill currently being deliberated upon by the National Assembly. According to the workers, the bill, which seeks to repeal the Nigerian Port Authority MPA Act, would render MPA workers jobless and endanger productivity of other port users if passed into law.
We wish to note that this bill, if allowed to be passed into law, we have far-reaching grave consequences on the security of the nation, as it will cede harbour, jetty and terminal operations into private hands. We are therefore not surprised that this bill is being vigorously sponsored by unpatriotic individuals within the maritime sector. Even more sinister is the proposed idea of the bill to provide wholly an employment that will not be pensionable, as well as that as not transferable and without access to terminal benefits.
Labour leaders stress the importance of the federal government to take charge of the economic life wire of the country.
Any attempt to push this heavy bill further, we therefore demand for its withdrawal in its entirety. VAT in maritime operations, in accordance with the laid down law, terminal operation bringing the ship in and out of the port to a private individual, the security situation in Nigeria will not be guaranteed. A lot of things are coming in and out of Nigeria where we still have even government officials there. In a situation you don't have government officials in all these places, what do you think will happen?
The union described the move as a ploy by some selfish individuals in the maritime sector to cause chaos in the industry, which has enjoyed sustained peace. The workers passed a vote of confidence on the MPA Act as it served the interests of Nigeria and the well-being of workers in the sector. The bill was earlier stepped down by the National Assembly in 2018.
The Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees has awarded the Best Governor in Council Administration to Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and other awards to some state governors. The award was presented to Governor Obaseki at the maiden edition of the Local Government's Workers' Week celebration with the theme, Time to Fix Local Government System for a Better Nigeria. According to the leadership of the union, appreciating leaders who prioritize welfare of workers is essential. They explained that Governor Obaseki ensures protection of workers' rights, pays more than the approved national minimum wage, and ensures autonomy for local government areas in Edo states.
How do we strengthen the governance in the local government? First, it's the human capacity, ensuring that we train them, we strengthen them, we give them the confidence and give them the systems to work and make sure that there's transparency in their affairs and the way they govern. And what do they handle? They handle the basics, education, this particularly primary education, primary health care, security, and basic infrastructure, access to farms and all of those.
We are using this to further motivate and sensitize Nigerians on the need to be on the same page with us, because struggle for autonomy is not about workers' welfare, it's not about remuneration like other unions are doing. We are clamoring for a better local government service, for a better Nigeria, so that you and I can comfortably go back to our villages and towns without fear of insecurity.
I feel that governors at that level the people at that level should be allowed to manage their own affair. governors are running local government as if local governments are colonized entities. And that is what we are saying, that this concept, this attitude must change.
There is ample evidence that investing in women is the most effective way to lift communities, companies, and even countries up. It is asserted that countries with more gender equality have better economic growth, while companies with more women leaders perform better. Also, peace agreements that include more women are said to be more durable.
So how far are we going? Just at the cabin there.
Okay. In a quest to know how female workers are thriving in the male-dominated fields, my crew and I took a trip to the port terminal in Lagos, southwest Nigeria.
Be careful.
After safety checks with the Tinkan terminal, I met Mary Ajayi, a crane operator. She tells me our daily routine involves climbing such a height to operate relevant machines to complete a job. I braced up for the challenge and climbed after her to see a daily routine.
For the past years, I've been working and doing the male job, which is a crane operator. I found out that it's very easy because working among men, I found it so comfortable and I found it so interesting. Yeah, and I would like other female out there to see that what men can do, women can do better, because I'm being there and I've seen that it's very, very easy. So I'll encourage more female to try what other men does.
Also, the first female mobile crane operator at the port, Oni Taiwo, says though women have long been in the maritime industry in the country, they remain unsung heroes. She wants stakeholders to train more women who put to sea and equip them with the required experience and education.
Pertaining to this maritime or shipping company, they should train more female who are willing, who have the passion, who wants to do it. Because if you are trained and you don't have the passion for it, is another thing. But if you really want to do it, then the government should please create train female other women who are eager, who have this zeal.
The operations manager at TICT and human resource manager of TCN speak on the impacts women are making in the maritime sector.
TICT is a part of the Bolloré Group, and it has always been something very important for the Bolloré Group to promote women in historical men industries. You know, we do ports, but we also do logistics. So the Bolloré Group has been promoting women, and this is something that has been spreading to the Bolloré Group ports part. And I think to us today, it's only benefit to have a woman. There are commitment to their job that is amazing. And I hope that, you know, with those 5 women we have, we can get some more.
It has been our dream in the past 10 years for us to have females on board our vessel. And presently, last 2 weeks, we have the first female ASD captain in West Africa.
After several hours at the Tinkan terminal, climbing and exploring maritime activities, I proceeded to the naval dockyard with assistance from the Maritime Workers Union. We met some women in the shipping industry. Before the team and I boarded the vessel, one of the captains took us through safety checks.
Before we go further, we'd just like to have a small safety briefing in case of emergency when we depart. So this is our mustering point, you know, which on the vessel will say our mustering station. In case of emergency, fire, flood or anything.
Gloria Umweku, an engineer of a vessel, tells me that it can only operate unless she powers it. She wants government and relevant authorities to do away with discriminatory laws and practice which hold women back towards achieving true gender equality.
We are privileged to have a GM that have the female in heart, but out there are a lot of challenges. 1, discriminations. 2, Why the discriminations? Most vessels don't have accommodations for female.
To ensure women empowerment in the maritime community, these experienced professionals believe that there should be more job opportunities for women.
There are more women than NIMASA trained at Philippines and also South Africa. More women they train on this sea job, and most of them are not getting the work because they were like, the women cannot do what the male are doing.
For sailing, whenever you are moving, I do enjoy it most. I enjoy sailing. Even if I said after spending like a 3 months, 4 months, because I spend much more on board because I work on tanker vessel. I can stay 6 months, 9 months, a year. Your reflection of going and coming down will give others also a chance for them to be on board. If you don't mess up yourself. No, it's discipline and perseverance. If you cannot endure as a female, you can't cope.
From findings, it is noted that there must be strategies for empowering women so that participation would remain on upward trajectory. Early and focused education, role modeling and mentorship program, provision of enabling environment, as well as building women for roles to meet challenges of dynamic leadership are critical. Research has shown that maritime environment adds barriers to involvement of women in the sector, but the society needs to know that underestimating women would lead to shortchanging in terms of operational effectiveness. For Gloria, Tayo, Mary, and others who do their job despite the risk and discrimination against women, they believe it is time for women to begin to own ships and occupy leadership positions in various sectors of the industry. On the profile interview segment this week, I'll be speaking with the CEO of ENL Company. She brought us up to speed on the issues that surround the maritime sector and the Port and Harbour Bill by the 10th National Assembly. She also spoke about being a leading figure in the maritime industry. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Thank you for having me.
You're a great player in the maritime sector and you have thousands of workers that you manage from time to time. How has it been managing the workforce in the maritime sector?
Thank you. For me, it's been a very good experience. Managing people has been a fantastic experience for me. You know, I did study administrative management in the university. And part of my course is human psychology. So when you understand the psychology of people, you know, it makes it easy for you to manage people. In ENL, we have such a huge number of people under our employment, you know. So to me, it's been a good experience for me. Managing people is never a problem.
And has there been any achievements in terms of reward while trying to relate with workers? I know that you're very popular in their midst, and that's why I'm sitting down with you.
Yeah, thank you.
We have lots of workers. I'll say she's our mother. How has it been relating with them professionally and also outside the office?
Yeah, professionally, because I'm good at what I do. I believe in excellence. I believe in doing things well and the right way. I believe in doing things a proper way, you know. Technically, I see myself as good. I can rate myself as being good, you know, technically, and experience. In terms of experience, I've got the expertise to do what I'm doing in port operation in ENL in Lagos. So for me, that's an added advantage for me. And then managing people, like I said, has been quite an experience, you know. And when you understand human psychology, being a woman also helps you to manage people well, because we are mothers and we are naturally caring. It doesn't stop you from being firm. It doesn't stop you from being getting people to do exactly how you want things done. Everybody knows me for excellence, that you just have to do things well. When you are good, you are my friend. And when you are not good as a staff, of course, you also see the other side of me. I don't compromise on excellence. I do not in any way. But I also demonstrate my, motherly side of me, and that's when I bring the softer side of me out. It comes out naturally when it should come out. But when I need to be firm and stand on what I believe in, and it just comes out like that. It's natural. I don't know how it comes, but you just see one side of me very soft, and then another second you see the other side of me being firm. It comes naturally, and I think that's a gift.
All right, moving forward, the maritime sector is quite unique and peculiar. However, we know that it's male-dominated. You're a big player and you're a woman. What would be your words of encouragement to an average lady that might find herself in the maritime sector?
Well, being a woman in the maritime sector could be quite challenging because it's a male-dominated sector. We're not many in numbers that are operating within the sector. Where either as a terminal operator or as a clearing and forwarding person or a crane operator or whatever you are, the space that women were occupying in the maritime sector in the past wasn't that many. But we are encouraging people like me who are elders within the sector and doing very well. We're encouraging the younger people to come and occupy that space. We can do better than what men are doing. Men have got brains, we have brain. And it's been proved that women are actually even more intelligent than men. That's been proved, over and over. Data shows it. So women should not feel intimidated by the dominance of men in any sector. As a matter, not only in the maritime sector, in any sector of the Nigerian economy. Don't feel intimidated by the dominance of men. Go there, slot it out with them, fill your space. And when you are good at what you are doing, by and large, men will respect you. Respect is earned. You can only get people who respect you for your excellence, for your knowledge, for your performance. It's not something you sit and they give to you. You just have to there struggle with them, fill the space, prove yourself, and earn it.
Definitely earn it. So for those that are working in this sector, are there opportunities or trainings, or what would be your advice for them to actually move forward or forge ahead in their career?
Yes, it's very important. Training, the need for training cannot be overflowed or, but it's very important for anything you want to do in life. You need enough knowledge for you to be able to perform well. That's what I did. So you need to have enough training. You need advice for people who's been operating within the sector. You need their advice. You need transfer of knowledge from them. That's one thing when I first started, that's one thing I was never shy of doing. I spoke to people, I'm talking about 17.5 years ago, I spoke to people whose experience, I tapped on. When I wasn't too sure about what to do about certain things, I humbled myself enough to go to them and say, I need help in this area of my job. And by and large, I from the experience that I gathered, and advice that I got from people who were my senior, who's been in the industry for a very long time. I became
An Amazon.
an Amazon. People, that's how they refer to me in the sector. You're never tired of learning, and you're never too old to learn. Learning is it's a continuous process. So, and that's what I advise every woman to do.
Okay, most recently, the Ports and Harbour Bill was introduced to the 10th Assembly. It was discarded by the 8th Assembly, but the bill has resurrected. And first, as a professional and as a big player in the industry, what would you have to say about this development?
Well, that's really cheering, and I hope they will get it done with as soon as possible. The Port and Harbour Bill is very crucial to the sector because that forms the basis of the bedrock of how business is done in the sector. We don't have that right now. The Port and Harbour Bill takes care of that. What is the responsibility of Nigerian Port Authority, responsibility of port operators, responsibility of shipping companies, responsibility? We know, but it spells out in little details the expectation of everybody that is performing, that is operating within the sector. This Port and Harbour Bill ought to have been passed long time before now. It's long overdue. I knew the intention of the president then, the past president, the former president, President Olusegun Obasanjo, was to ensure that that bill was passed even before the concession was done, before the concessioning of the port. But unfortunately, he couldn't get it done for one reason or the other. It became a political issue, But here we are. And the industry is evolving every day, The maritime sector is very critical to the economy of Nigeria. We occupy a critical space. You talk about oil, the next sector to talk about is maritime. And maritime can even surpass oil. Oil will finish one day. We must begin to think. And the world is thinking beyond oil. You're talking about clean economy, green economy. But the maritime sector will always be there. Will always be there. Government should put a lot of emphasis in this sector. This is a sector that has such a huge potential. Creating an enabling environment is key. And I believe that Port and Harbour Bill should also take care of all of that. I don't know what is in the current Port and Harbour Bill, because I know, several times we've attended, there have been public hearings here and there, but it keeps changing. I want to believe that the present people in Congress will invite us and,
Other stakeholders?
Yes, other stakeholders, because you need us to be able to have a good bill. Those of us that are operating within the sector, we know the problems, we know the challenges, we know the expectation of everyone. So we have contributions to make. So it's very important to engage us in discussion. They need to engage us, they need to speak to us, because we have, we know how businesses should be run in the sector, not only as port operators, everybody that are all stakeholders within the sector, So we want to see that before this bill is passed. I don't know what is, because it keeps changing. I used to know what it was 5 years ago. I don't know what it is now. We need to know what is in that bill. They need to invite us. If there's going to be any revision or addition or subtraction, we need to be part of that. And, that bill needs to be passed as soon as possible, because that would do well for the marine and blue economy. Don't forget that, we are just having a marine and blue economy. So the Port and Harbour Bill too,
Supposed to encapsulate.
it has to encapsulate that, accommodate that. So it has changed. So, you know, what we had was transportation, Ministry of Transportation. But now we have Ministry of Transportation that is quite different from the marine and blue economy. So that needs to be captured, well captured in the Port and Harbour Bill.
Finally, decent work we know is essential for nation building. What would be your advice to CEOs like yourself in terms of ensuring that they provide the necessary wherewithal to ensure that workers actually probably get better wages or probably get the treatment they deserve?
Thank you very much. You can only get the best out of your workers when they are well treated, when they are well remunerated for the job that they do. And every CEO must ensure, not should, must ensure that workers are well remunerated for the job they do. That's the only way. There's no two way to it. When your workers are happy, you get the best out of them. When they are well remunerated, you also get the best out of them. Like they say, a worker deserves his wages. You know, you should pay your salary, the salary of your staff on time. You know, areas that borders on their welfare, you know, insurance, you know, ensuring that their lives are insured, workmen compensation, training, salaries, wages, or whatever it is. The only way you can succeed as a CEO is that workers, the well-being of workers are well attended to. You will have less agitation in your company, and you will get the loyalty, you know, of your staff when that's done. They are there, giving their lives, making sacrifices for the company. Well, so you need to take care of them.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you for having me.
It was an interesting conversation.
Yes, yes. There's so much to say
We'll
about this
definitely
sector.
have you some other time.
There's so much to say.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon, for having me.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of the program. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the show. I am Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember that labor creates wealth.